It's that lunchroom chatter podcast, you know? Where you sit up and think about fucking your girl's best friend, but you can't because your girl's a fighter and she'll fuck you up. This that lunchroom chatter podcast where you lay up and think about being a porn star, but you can't because you come too quick, so you gotta eat the pussy for 95 minutes. That kind of shit. This that lunchroom chatter podcast where you in bed at night thinking about beating your meat, but you can't because you live with your mama. And she bust in the room and say, bitch, get the fuck up. Mama, why you ain't knock on the door first? This that kind of shit. Where you can be yourself, where you can relax, where you could put yourself into the mind of another nigga. So stay tuned. Let's get this shit popping. Lunchroom chatter podcast, baby. Man. First of all, man, first part of the new year. Thank you guys for still being with your boy, for locking in, for staying tuned into that.
Brand new LCP.
Now, this episode, man, I was hoping this episode was going to be a little lighthearted, but we going to be kind of heavy because as you guys know, 2025 has started with a bang, and it's not a good bang either. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
That's the only thing I could think of right now as the year started, man. So before I dive into some of the heavy news, as we all know, New Orleans and everything that happened in New Orleans, you know, much love and condolences to the victims out there. 2025 has been a wild fucking ride already. You got snow in Atlanta. You got fucking kids being shot in Atlanta. It's so many things that are going on right now to where I'm looking back and I'm like, damn. Do I want 2024 to come back? Has 2025 been so crazy? And then I got a story for you guys later too. I got stranded in the snowstorm yesterday, but clap it up for this white guy named Scotty. He drove by. He saved a nigga. When I tell you, Scotty came by like white Jesus. Like I was sitting there, like, you know how sometimes when shit go bad, you just kind of, you gotta accept your fate. You know what? I'm stuck. I ain't getting out. So I got out. I started helping other people. Me and a couple other black men who were stranded. You know, we got out. We started helping some of the ladies move their cars to the side so they can walk, so they can at least figure out what the fuck they're going to do. But we at least wanted to get them out the road. And then came Scotty. Like fucking black Jesus came by, did what he had to do, had a big ass truck, had a pulley on the back of his truck, so he could tow motherfuckers up the hill so we could keep going and get the fuck home. So, man, I'll give more claps for Scotty, nigga. That man was the OG, man. But before we dive into the fucking tough, heavy news that I got for you guys, I'm sorry. I tried to make it lighthearted, but sometimes when the world is whirling and the world is doing what it got to do, sometimes I got to go. What the fuck we gotta go with. But I want to do an early segment of stories with Sully before we get to the news, because he brings up a great point in relation to starting the new year. Is it okay to cut off family? Or rather, how should one go about cutting off those close family ties with somebody who might be annoying, somebody who might be begging for money, somebody who might be counterproductive to your journey in life, something that you are trying to accomplish? Now, as we all know, sometimes family, blood, of course, blood is blood. Blood makes your family, but sometimes there are other factors at play that can contribute to you possibly having to cut off that close family member. Even if it's your mom, your cousin, your brother, your sister. Sometimes people's roads begin to go different ways, and a lot of times we can hold on and say, you know what, this is my mom, this is my sister, this is my dad. I'm going to try to keep them close, but sometimes keeping them close can fuck up your life. But Sully, talk to me, man. What's your question about toxic family? Talk to me, man. Stories with Sully right now.
Lunchroom Chatter Pod, got a question for you. So is it okay, or at what point should someone consider cutting off just a toxic family member, someone that is close to them by nature, right? You can't help who your family is. And I'm not talking about like a cousin or someone that it's actually easy to put distance between yourself with, but like, you know, an immediate family member, like your father, mother, brother or sister. You know, is it okay to put that distance there, to potentially change your number, right? To go, months, years, not investing in that relationship or running away from that relationship or just putting a hard pause on it, right? Is that type of behavior okay?
I want to clap it up for this question, man, because I understand them, man, because sometimes like you might got to cut ties with family. Now, is it hard to do? Of course. It's especially harder when that person is a close family member, such as maybe your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister, your brother, or somebody who you have, as they say in the culture, you've been in the trenches with. Somebody who's been there for you from day one, but sometimes as we grow and as we elevate, like I said, we go different paths, man, and to where sometimes the shit don't work out and you might need to distance yourself so you can actually grow and prosper outside of that person. And, everybody's not going to understand that. But sometimes you gotta cut a motherfucker off. As hard as that is to do, sometimes you gotta.
No. It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off.
Sometimes you gotta cut a motherfucker off. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your fucking cousin. Sometimes you gotta cut them off, especially when you're trying to elevate to a new point in life. What you gotta do? Come on, talk what you gotta do.
Link up. So what you saying, ho? You know I'm the man, ho. Nothing but
you gotta cut that motherfucker off so you can grow, so you can prosper, so you can elevate to the next level. And everybody can't go. Sometimes you might be trying to go to level 10 and somebody else's peak might be level 6. Bitch, get out my face. It's time to keep it going, but let's go, man. Whew. I try to hold off for as long as I possibly can, but it's a lot of shit going on, man. Here in Atlanta, man, there was a child that was killed, man. So, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Like, can we take some time and think about that shit, man? Now, any murder matters. I don't care if you're black, white, if you're 85, if you're 5 years old, every murder matters, man. But when things happen, it's especially harmful when it's a child, somebody who's 5 years old, somebody who hadn't even had the chance to go through their first love, go through their first encounter playing sports, just graduation, high school graduation, prom, having a child. Like when that is cut short at 5 years old, it's tough, man. But that's what happened to a 5-year-old boy here in Atlanta, Georgia. He was asleep in his home and he was killed when somebody opened fire on his home. Here's the news report. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Bright future.
He was so smart. He was really good in math.
But it was stolen in a heartbeat.
God called his angel back home.
Lauren Aruni says her 5-year-old son, Lavari, died a week ago when bullets suddenly tore through their DeKalb County home.
He was sleeping in his bed in the comfort of our home where he should be safe. And his brother was asleep right beside him, his 4-year-old brother.
Sometimes out of nowhere.
Life is so beautiful, and then it's not so beautiful no more.
Her tears fall, just like nighttime showers.
You just feel empty, and you just feel like there's darkness around you.
Aruni, originally from Maryland, has no family here, but she says friends like Deshandra Hale have been her support system.
He was my baby's first friend. We were pregnant together.
That bond makes this tragedy even harder. Hale says the shooter didn't just take a child. They stole Aruni's home and her peace of mind. Now they're desperate for answers.
I just pray that it weigh in on their hearts to at least turn themselves in, or if somebody know anything, tell what you know.
Aruni may never get to see Lavari play again, but she hopes that sharing his story sparks immediate action to prevent this from happening to another family.
Love on your babies and just...
We just gonna boo, bitch. Like, damn, like, don't you motherfuckers go to sleep. Niggas out, y'all committing crime, shooting up homes. Nigga, if you can't aim at who the fuck you're shooting at, stay your ass home. You got beef with somebody, man, find their number, Get their fucking number. Go to a boxing gym. I'm sure if you go to any boxing gym and ask the fucking owner, hey, me and this guy have beef. My urges are telling me to shoot to kill this person, but can we get in the ring? Can we fight it out for 5 rounds and get this shit out? After the fight, you guys clap it up, go the fuck home, be friends, whatever the fuck you got to do. Like how they used to do back in the day. But shooting up homes, like they say, bullets have no name on it. So, nigga, if you can't aim, stay your fucking stupid ass home. You got moms out here. You got kids out here losing their fucking family. Boo. Fuck you, bitch. And that's why I said time and time again, man, if you got to snitch on nigga, go snitch. I don't give a fuck. Go snitch. Snitch on that bitch. Now, to keep it going, man, there was a woman. Now, I'm not sure if the video was real, fake. I don't know. Like, now when you see fucking TikTok, you see fucking IG posts, like, sometimes you don't know. Bitch, is that shit real? Or was it fake? But now, there's a woman who claims she was ghosted by her boyfriend after 11 months of dating because he did not offer her a place to stay. That is why she ghosted him. She said that she became unemployed and she was worried about not having a place to stay. And she said her man of 11 months told her, there's plenty of millionaires who have lived in their cars before. You can do it too. I would clap it up for that nigga. Clap it up. I would hope that people are serious after 11 months together. But again, if I'm looking at it from my point of view, would I allow my girlfriend of 11 months to possibly move in at least maybe temporarily for, if she's about to lose her place? I probably would. But again, I don't put what I would do on somebody else because I don't know their relationship dynamics. I don't know how serious they were. Because now it's a lot of situationships, a lot of flings, a lot of people that don't really be as serious and have those important conversations up front to where to give him some grace. I don't know their relationship. But now if they were super serious, having great conversations and talks about a long-term future, then would it be nice had he allowed her to move in? Of course. But again, I can't tell somebody to do in the place in which they stay because now you got to fucking role reverse. And God forbid she had an apartment and she was good with her living situation. And now he was losing his place. Would she let him come in? So it's a lot of fucking dynamics like that I think about that I can't really project it. So I can't do what other people would do. Oh, he's a fucking trash. He's garbage because I don't know their relationship. But this is some quick what she had to say as she was detailing her man not letting her move in. So sis, again, I don't know if this shit is real. I don't know if it's fake. But talk to me, sis.
So I ghosted my boyfriend on New Year's Eve and I have not spoken to him since. Before I get into this, I just want to say that me and my boyfriend, we have been together for a year. Well, almost a year, 11 months. A year on February 2nd, we will have been together. Okay? My boyfriend is also 34, grown man. He also is a homeowner, has a pretty good job, and also has a business that he's starting. So let's start there, right? So recently, obviously, like you all have known, I have become unemployed. And I have not been able to find a job. I have put in like 30 applications a day. I've got nothing, like barely even an interview. I've gone on 2 interviews. So I've been literally struggling and I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna keep it together for this. I'm not gonna get stressed out. I no longer have the funds to afford these bills. It's something so crazy about having hundreds of thousands of dollars one day and then the next day having nothing. But that's what's going on right now. And so I am vulnerable with my man and I go, hey, I'm gonna need to like stay with you for a little while I get myself together. Like, I don't have anything on the rent. And so I'm gonna need to move with you while I get myself together. Mind you, I said he has his own house, his own 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood. He also has a best friend. His best friend lives with him.
A matter of fact, boo bitch. No. again, I was trying to give her grace. And again, I understand what she's saying. If it's true about losing your place, losing your apartment, but like she going too deep into what he got. You know, he has a good job. You know, he has a nice house. You know, he has a business. No, that's his business. And now, of course, if they were married, things change. But you guys are not married. Now, again, would it be nice if he was to help out and be of some assistance? Yes, but you can't expect that, man. And again, it's tough to say because I know how good my heart is, and sometimes when you have a good heart, sometimes you get played because I don't know what's happened in this guy's past. You know, if he had a woman, you know, kind of invoke this same, hey, you know, I might got to move in with you, and now she might have been tough to get out, especially, you know, with a lot of states having a fucking different laws because now she moves in, now she starts getting mail, now you guys break up. It's tough to kick her out because now she's a roommate. It's a lot of states have different fucking laws. So, girl, at the end of the day, get your own place. I know you can't, but if you got family in the area, mom, dad, cousin, whoever, if you ain't cut them off, like my man Sully said, if you ain't cut them motherfuckers off, hit them up. Hey, man, you know, I'm falling on tough times and I might got to move. Just move in. It's okay. Even if you got to fucking go there for about a month or two to kind of regroup and get yourself back together. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But like the theme of this episode, man.
Jesus Christ.
Let's keep it moving. So a couple days ago, man, I was on Facebook, right? And I kept seeing a couple of like my childhood friends from New York City. They kept posting about RIP to this black man. He was a mail carrier. And again, initially, I was kind of confused as to what happened. But then when news broke, when the story broke, that's when I seen the tragedy of it and how he was a black man, probably about the same age as me, about 35, 36 years old. And, you know, he was a postal service worker and he went to a deli, I believe in Harlem, to go get some lunch. And he got into a dispute with someone over his place in line. Now, again, the story was that he skipped the person in line. The person got angry and they had a fucking argument and then he was stabbed to death. And you guys know how I feel about situations like that. If you guys have a dispute, a disagreement, like especially over something so fucking minor as your place in line, that should never result in the death of somebody. But then that's when more information came out and the person who ended up tragically stabbing him, they had a past history of using knives and robbery and similar events. And tragically, this man lost his life and he was taken away from his family. So I do want to dive into the news report. This news report is from, let me get it pulled up. This is from CBS New York, so you guys can hear more about the story. Like I said, man, my Bronx family, man, I'm from the Bronx. You guys know, born and raised. So anybody, man, especially anybody of my age who worked hard, who came from the projects, who overcame adversity to make it out. This man got a good job, man. This man is a postal service worker. He's doing what he got to do. He's not on the block hustling all day. He's at work, working his behind off. So find out some more about this story. Again, CBS, talk to me.
Bronx family tonight mourning the death of a father who was fatally stabbed Thursday while ordering a deli sandwich. Loved ones say that it happened while he was on the job as a mail carrier. And they say that he took that job to get out of poverty, never thinking this would happen. John Diaz spoke with family members.
A makeshift memorial continues to grow outside the home of 36-year-old Ray Hodge, with his United States Postal Service hat in the middle. Loved ones lighting candles and hanging photos of the Bronx man who was a father of two.
It's just messed up that the family got to go through this.
This man says he grew up with Hodge.
He was trying to just make some money. You know, that's it. Just getting up, doing what he got to do to provide for his kids.
Hodge's brother echoing that in a statement, saying, quote, he was an honorable and respectful man who took care of his family. Police say while on the job as a mail carrier, Hodge was fatally stabbed Thursday when he was ordering a sandwich at a deli in Harlem.
Why? Like, senseless.
They took one of the good ones from
Christmas and all that.
Police say 24-year-old Ajaya Cruz has been arrested for the crime. Witnesses say she got angry and started to argue with Hodge over who was first in line to order. Deli workers say they saw the whole thing.
I separate them. The male guy in the front, the lady, she was in the back. She's spilling him in his face.
Witnesses claim in an instant, Cruz pulled out a knife and fatally stabbed Hodge in the stomach. In a statement, a spokesperson for USPS said it, quote, takes matters involving the safety and well-being of Postal Service employees as a top priority. Officials say Hodge worked as a mail carrier since the summer of 2022, based out of the Morningside Annex on West 125th Street. Loved ones say Hodge was just trying to make a living.
To see him, go from one stage of life to the next to better himself was anything you could ask from a kid.
Cruz has been charged with murder. Police say that a weapon was recovered here at the scene. For now, reporting here from Harlem, John.
Man, like I always like to do, man. Of course, when somebody loses their life, when they pass away, it's a somber, situation, man. But I want to clap it up, man, for him. Even though he passed away way too soon, man. The fact that, like I said, anytime somebody takes the proper steps, as she said, man, from how he was growing up, like he took that job to better himself. He took that job to get on a great positive path in life, in relation to how he could have possibly been living before. So when you see somebody come from poverty, as friends and family said, somebody who came from the struggle, to even see a vision for your life that goes beyond the streets, man, we gonna clap it up, man. Gone too soon. That man should still be alive to see his grandkids. That man should still be alive to be loved on by his friends and family. So, God damn.
Jesus Christ.
But it don't stop there, man, because as you guys know, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and there was a bus driver, a model bus driver, killed over fucking $2.50 fare, man. Now, like I said, man, having these type of conversations be tough, man, because that's when you think about like how fragile life is, because we all know it. We all know how short and fragile life is, but when situations like this happen, man, that's when you begin to see how mentally unstable a lot of people are. And that's why when, like I always say, man, when I step outside, I don't care if I'm in traffic, I'm in a store, I'm not arguing with nobody. Nigga, you got it. Nigga, if I'm in traffic and you want to get over, go on, get over. Because chances are I'm probably going to be stuck in traffic anyway. I'm not going nowhere. And it is too many people out here that are mentally unstable, and sometimes trying to get the last word can literally be your last words. Now, should it be like that? Of course not, because we all should be able to have disagreements and not agree and still make it home safe to our family. But as we just seen in this past story, they had a disagreement over fucking who is first in line to order a fucking sandwich. That was probably about a $6 sandwich. And this man was stabbed and killed. And as you guys are going to see in this next story, man, this bus driver out here working hard. I believe he was from New York, if I'm not mistaken, came out here to get away from crime, and you got stabbed to death over $2.50. So Fox 5 Atlanta, give us some more information as we continue to dive into 2025. But before we get there, man, I hope that you guys are having a great, safe, and healthy 2025, and that it just goes well, man, because I hate when the year starts and we got to have families out here, even if I don't know you, and we got to have families out here going through having to plan a funeral, going through grief, because when the new year starts, that should be a time where we think about things that we want to do, our vision, goals that we want to accomplish. It should not be the time when there are people out here planning a funeral. So come on, Fox 5 Atlanta, talk to your boy.
MARTA employees are rallying around the family of a driver shot to death Friday night during a dispute. Police say it started over bus fare, $2.50. Dozens of union workers showed up to the Decatur MARTA bus station for a balloon release, all in remembrance of the driver, Leroy Ramos. That's where Fox 5 Joy Dukes is. Joy, I mean, when we talk about senseless, this tops the list.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. And officials with that union are calling for change in light of the fatal shooting death of one of their own. And we're told that that driver had only been on the job with MARTA for a few short months before taking his last breaths here at the Decatur MARTA station. Well, now there is a memorial that has been set up here. You can see there are some candles here as well as some teddy bears, one saying Forever Leroy Ramos with his name on it, as well as some balloons and flowers. Earlier, members of the union joined loved ones here in a moment of solidarity. They came together to hold a balloon release for Ramos, many of them shaken up at the thought that he went to work and did not make it home. Police say that the two juvenile suspects who are involved are in custody, but there is still another juvenile suspect that they are looking for. The big message here today was that they want to see justice served. His wife, Monique Ramos, telling us she was grateful to see so many people there in support of her family.
It's overwhelming. I'm happy. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I didn't know it was going to be so many people out here with all the support and love. It makes me feel good.
Union members say driver safety has been a concern for years, and they want to see MARTA advocate for stricter punishment of individuals that are assaulting drivers. They want to see some laws created at the state level, and they also want to see security officers or police officers on buses that are deemed high-risk routes. Now, of course, we'll have some more coverage on this coming up in the later shows tonight at 10 and 11. That's the latest here.
I want to boo them niggas, bro. This brother out here trying to make a living, trying to get your ass. You don't got a car, bitch. This motherfucker trying to get you from point A to point B. Nigga, if you don't got a fucking $2.50 to catch the fucking bus, nigga, walk. You got a gun, but you don't got $2.50. Nigga probably had on Jordans, but you don't got $2.50. If I was to find his IG, I bet you he on Instagram stunting like a motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
But nigga don't got $2.50. That man should not be laying somewhere in a morgue right now with his family, with his wife, plotting his fucking funeral over $2.50. Boo, bitch. That's why I say, man, I want you guys out there, especially you guys who listen to that LCP.
Brand new LCP.
I want you guys to make smart decisions to please do not put yourself in this. I don't give a fuck if you think you too strong. If you think, I know how to fight. It don't matter. Motherfuckers these days don't fight. Like, back in the day, we could fight. We could get into a fucking disagreement and go home. These days, motherfuckers got a gun. So you might find yourself in a situation, and it's a very, very, very high fucking chance that person has a gun. So it ain't worth it, man. That's why I always tell people, man, just get home safe to your fucking kids. Don't spend time trying to argue, trying to get the last word, trying to go back and forth. Just go home, nigga. Go home to your family, your wife, your kids, people who are taking that time to rely on you, man. But I want to end this off with a crazy story, man. I seen a story on fucking social media, man, to where, and again, I'm not saying that this is all churches, but this is why I have an issue a lot of times with a lot of different churches, especially black churches. Now, there was a black church in Virginia. Now, the pastor, let's rewind. There was a young woman in that congregation who ended up getting pregnant. I believe she's a young teen. So the pastor of that church made her get in front of the fucking congregation and apologize for getting pregnant. And then he told her, you cannot have a baby shower. He said, you lose all the pride and glory since you got pregnant so young. He said, thank God that God ain't take you out of here. I want to boo that nigga from the jump. Cause I'm gonna let y'all hear the shit. Like I said, to me, it's fucking degrading. It's cringeworthy because things happen, man. Now, of course, should any teen be pregnant at 12, 13, 14? Probably not. But, everybody's path in life is different. And sometimes your path might not be the most positive path. And you might give yourself more obstacles that you probably are going to have to overcome. But to be publicly shamed in front of your church congregation, that's why a lot of people out here, including myself sometimes, where we kind of question our faith, or we try to find the church in which we can, call home. But I know in the past I've tried, and I had to deal with a lot of homophobic speech that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm not homophobic. I don't spew that hateful type speech, but listen to some of this, man, of the girl getting up there apologizing and the pastor, and we're going to end on that note. And if this is you, if you are so involved in the church to where you become judgmental, you become, you lose that human decency, that human care, because imagine what she's already going through. Imagine the shame, the hurt, the embarrassment that she already feels, in relation to herself, and having to even open up and tell, hey, mom, I'm pregnant. So to get up there and be shamed in front of the whole fucking congregation, I mean, come on.
Jesus Christ.
But listen to this shit, man. Let's dive into it before we get out of here.
Congregation, yeah, right in front of you. Don't touch that table.
I want to apologize to everybody in here because I am pregnant. I'm sorry, y'all. And I just hope that y'all all forgive me and keep on praying for me.
They say, I soon should you repent. Then you never wait later to repent. If you sin, you don't wait no 2, 3. You don't wait till the baby come to repent. You repent now. You just don't do it again. But you got to repent. I don't care how you look at it. You already know. You already know what time it is. I told her. It's not what you think it is. But the church praying for you. We ain't gonna condone your sin now. We ain't gonna do that. Ain't no baby showers going on. That's what you lose out at. When you have a baby out of wedlock, ain't no baby showers. And nobody at this church about to attend one. Mama shouldn't have one neither.
I'm sorry. I can't listen to this nigga. Get this nigga off my phone. Boo this bitch. And again, you guys might feel differently, but I feel like publicly shaming a teenage girl who got pregnant, man, like, to me, that does more harm than good. And I know that in his mind, he probably sees it as I'm teaching her a lesson, but I don't give a fuck. She should have a baby shower. I don't care if she's 13, 14 years old. This is your first child. And even if this child came about from a bad decision or a bad decision in the heat of the moment, that should not, put a damper on the joy of bringing a child into this world, man. Because that's something she has to sit down with her mom, with her family, but most importantly with herself to decide if she is ready for this child. The church should not decide that, because I'm sure there are plenty of people in that congregation who had a child out of wedlock. And if anyone tries to convince me, hey, you know, everybody in that church had a child when they were married, I'm not going to believe that shit, nigga. I'm not going to believe that shit ever. And that's my issue, is when people make mistakes when they were younger. Like, your mistake might not have been having a child at 13 or 14, but we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes as a child. So when I come across teenagers, I don't give a fuck if you're 10, 11, 12, 13, and they make mistakes, I understand it. Now, if that mistake is you murdering somebody, that's different. But mistakes, you know, in relation to decisions in life, like, those things happen. You know, taking something, or, you know, even getting pregnant, to where that might be subconsciously, that might be a lesson that she may need. Something that can, you know, potentially help her mature and grow, even though it is definitely going to be a burden on her and her family. But to publicly shame this woman in front of the church, boo that nigga again, bitch. I believe in God, I have my religion, but I'm just not as judgmental as a lot of people, you know, who become super deep into the church. Because, like, had I been judged so heavily growing up, like, I don't know if I would still be here. I probably would have killed myself from the shame, from the guilt at some of the decisions that I made, especially as I was trying to maneuver through and find, you know, the right path in life. So, like I always say, man, at the end, you guys out there, man, who love, support your boy, who support that
Brand new LCP.
You guys can always support extra. My Cash App is $NYC Story 718. By Venmo is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Stay locked in. Keep supporting your boy. And one more time before I get out of here, man. Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Stay locked in.